Today we are back with another video. Today we'll be playing some Artifact Portal. Now I know that there's not many new cards in this deck, but I needed to give my vials a break, so we're using a deck that I don't really need to craft any cards for. And here's Artifact Portal here. For the new cards, we're just running two of Postapocalyptic Girls here. The main effect that we're using is that accelerate 1 to put 2 analyzing artifacts into your deck. And then they also draw a card, so this is a 1-cost artifact shuffler that also draws, which is kind of not very common in this deck. If you've played this deck a lot, you know that especially when going second, trying to shuffle enough artifacts into your deck can be difficult because you need to play some curve like a 2-cost shuffler, and then you played Lazuli maybe. If you played Lazuli, then on turn 4 you only have 4 shuffled in, right? So having a 1-cost shuffler is very valuable for this deck, especially one that even draws a card. Until now, our options were Laser Tyranny, which you play, and if it shuffles cards, it doesn't draw anything back for you, which is not good in the early game when your hand is not doing so good. And Reboot Button, which you would definitely much rather save for the post shuffle condition with Radiant Machinery or Steel on Congregation. So Post-Apocalyptic Girls give you an option to shuffle artifacts for 1 cost for it pretty easy. You can also play on your A-Guild turn, so you could play a curve like Avamia, Lazuli, and then accelerate Post-Apocalyptic Girls into A-Guild, also works. So yeah, it definitely expands the ability to play this deck and reach A-Guild's evolve condition more, or rather transmute condition more consistently. You might even consider running 3 copies, but I feel like if you draw too many of these, it might get in the way. So the main body effect is also pretty nice, even though it doesn't come up that often, but the ability to heal yourself and give yourself a damage shield is very powerful, so definitely is an option that can help you survive in some games as well. Maybe if you're trying to set up for a big turn or something. So yeah, this is the list we'll be running, and let's jump into some games. So for our first game here, we are going against Blood, and we are going first. Blood can be either evil or a Wrath. Don't really know. Seems like Wrath is gaining more popularity nowadays, but it could be either. For the Mulligan, we like to keep Atrafia, we like to keep Agil and Ines when going first, but not going second because you don't really have time to play Ines when you're going second, I think. And then we keep early game shufflers like the Apocalyptic Girls, we keep Avamia, what's her name? Lazuli, and the Holy Biker, and then Sisterly Bonds is good for drawing artifacts. If you don't really have a good turn 1 play, you can go ahead and keep the Sisterly Bonds if you want. But of course there are other things priority. Oops, I should not be accelerating that. So I played the Inner, go ahead and play the Inner's turn 1 here, which will help me pick up the A-Guild. You can see going turn 1, you can play A-Guild on turn, you can play Inner's on turn 1 because you will be in Resonance on turn 1, and that's pretty convenient for you. But when going second on turn 1, you are not in Resonance, so it's very hard to find time to play Inner's on turn when you're going first. Here I traded in the Spinara on purpose to make sure I drew an artifact out of it, because the Spinara's artifact will not draw you will draw you a random card instead of an artifact if it's destroying your opponent's turn. So altogether we guarantee the artifact, we go ahead and trade it into the Harmonic Wolf, and we also trade the Ines to get it off the board, so we have board space to work with in case they try to leave it on board for some reason. So there's the Weapons Tamer from them, which is definitely a very powerful Wrath card. It activates Wrath so quickly, it's ridiculous. So if you look at now, they're already in Wrath and it's turn 3, so this is like this seems like to be the average for Wrath nowadays. In this case, I played the Laser Tyranny to shuffle the analyzing artifact so that I reach well, it doesn't show here, it shows here, right? It shows here so that I reach 6. So now my second Laser Tyranny, I can duplicate Laser Tyranny and it'll be fine, and we just get some damage in. Even though they're very low right now, obviously it's Wrath, they have a lot of healing, so it's very deceptive how much they are actually damaged by. So here's the Diablo's Hedonay here, which they're gonna use to destroy a board to hit our face. Thankfully for us, this is a relatively manageable turn because if you're familiar with Artifact as it is now, this A-Guild turn is a major weak spot for us because we leave ourselves very vulnerable because we have to spend 3p playing this guy and evolving him. So if they went wide or something, we would be in trouble right now, but I guess it's fine. Go ahead and trade the A-Guild off here, and then we're gonna go ahead and just play these cards to draw, and I guess get some cards going. In this case, we end up stopping short at 1 anyway, but generally keeping Betrafia at 1 countdown is pretty useful because you can time her, because you can make use of her for one extra turn. So in this case, if we had maybe one more artifact we could have played, we would probably avoid it just to keep the Betrafia around. Next turn she'll pop out and everything we play will get ward, which will help us with survivability, especially because Wrath has a lot of damage, so we need to survive where we can. But here's my opponent's Maron, so they are playing aggro variant that also runs a Vengeance package. They go ahead and evolve that Maron here. We're gonna take a ton of damage. We're very low. Definitely easy within lethal range for a lot of Wrath cards here, so hopefully we can find some healing. Pick up the Carnelia, which is very nice. We can go ahead and draw first with the analyzing here. Pick up the Dime, which is not that useful, but Carnelia here, because we haven't shuffled any Rhinos in, there's a decent chance to pick up the reboot button here, which we hope we do, and we do pick the reboot button here. So we go ahead and pick up the Radiant Machinery to try and heal out of a lethal range. And here is our Spinara's artifact here. We're going to use it to heal as well as draw an artifact. Hopefully try to find a Rhino. We pick up another reboot button instead, which is probably actually just better than finding a Rhino. So we're going to go ahead and use that to heal as well. Our hand is a bit thin, but I think we have a decent amount of draw to the point where we can focus on healing instead. So you go ahead and pick up the Spinara's artifact here as well. Go ahead and use it to draw. And then use the Laser Tyranny to finish off the Maron here. I could have played the Radiant artifact here and went face as well, but I felt like keeping these healthy wards on board is more of a priority. So that's the opponent's Diablo's Hedone here. We are now at 6 and they have 2 PP left, so like double Maron or Silver Snipe would have killed us, but it looks like they didn't have anything, so they go ahead and pass turn. And then we just have lethal with Radiant into a Dine, so this is an example of winning without the Rhino, which is our main payoff. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So for our next game, we have a game against Haven, and here we're going second. It's most likely Amulet. There are some people playing just Lena, but I think Amulet is more common. I shouldn't have kept the inners here. I think it was a misplay on my part, but I guess I just ended up keeping the inners here. Hopefully I can shuffle enough artifacts so that I can actually find time to play inners. I guess is the goal. But we've got another inners here off top, which is not great, so we're gonna go ahead and use the Spinara's artifact here. They probably wouldn't be able to clear this on turn 2. And it's true, they can't. We would like to get a draw out of this, but unfortunately we don't have a way to do that at the present. But we do pick out another Holy Biker, which is great for helping us shuffle cards. With 2 Holy Bikers, we are now just one set of 2 artifacts off from activating Aegil's condition, and we should have a way to draw Aegil with Innis. So hopefully we pick up something like Postapocalyptic Girls to complete the shuffle, but we don't. We pick up the Lazuli here. We're gonna go ahead and use the Hiver Biker to clear this. And then use the we pick up the Postapocalyptic Girls here, which is very nice. We use the Innis here to draw the Aegil while we are in Resonance, and then we go ahead and hit them in the face. There's the opponent's Meowskers and the Agent of the Covenant, which they are going to use to pop out the Storm, and they use it to trade, so that's a bit of the damage ground, which is great for us. Since we pick up the Post-Apocalyptic Girls here, we can go ahead and finish off our condition to activate Aegil by accelerating them, and then we can just go ahead and use Aegil here. Using Innis is maybe a bit questionable, because she can draw Betrafia, but you maybe want to fuse Aegil instead, so that's worth considering as well. But hard to say. Then we go ahead and trade the Innis off here just to open up the board space. Here I decided not to trade the Spinara off because I have a decent amount of artifact draws in my hand anyway, so probably fine to just get a regular draw out of this and it probably won't affect me that much. My opponent's Meowskers is out here. Here's got my opponent's 4 Amulets destroyed, and there is their Lena, so they are running the Lena variant of Amulet. Go ahead and pop our Spinara's artifact here. We pick up the Betrafia naturally here, which is great. And there's the Concordia evoking from their deck, but that's fine. It actually helps us destroy our follower, which is pretty funny. So we'll go ahead and use the Steel Concentration here to try and draw the Rhino, which we do pick up the Rhino, so that's good. And you go ahead and pick up the Spinara's artifact. Concordia is gonna... Oh, it's not evolved, so I guess it won't pop it, but we're gonna go ahead and pop the Concordia with the Spinara here. And Just draw through our deck, find the rhinos. You can see we didn't play the reboot button here. The reason why I didn't play this reboot button is I'm saving it for after I played the rhino so that I can actually draw useful cards off it. So go ahead and pop the analyzing artifact here. I'm gonna pop another one. You see a lot of analyzing artifacts in our deck here. Oh, we milled the reboot button, which is a bit of a problem, I guess. So go ahead and play the rhino here. Play another rhino. To shuffle all the rhinos in our deck, and then now we can go ahead and play the Steelan Congregation to get as much value as we can out of the artifact search. And we just finish it off with Laser Tyranny just to chip some damage to face. The opponent's playing out their world trees here. They're still not at 10 destroyed amulets, so we are still safe from there. So they go ahead and banish one of our rhinos, which is a shame. And they banish our other rhino as well. They're probably trying to deny our artifact condition. As you can see, we have 4 names right now, so I guess they're trying to deny us the 6 names by banishing both rhinos. Fine for us. We pick up the Mecha Magical Rhino here, so we're definitely gonna go ahead and play that and activate the last words to put it back in the deck. And then since we have Evil Point advantage here, but I have no qualms about evolving the Carnelia here. You should keep in mind that against Haven in particular, Evil Point advantage is quite important because letting them play Selena for 2 PP can be very dangerous. So in this case we are fine. I'll come to Retrafia as well, so we'll go ahead and play the Mech Rhino here. And then we play an Analyzing Artifact. We're gonna go ahead and use Dying to pop all of these to make board space as well as activate all their last words, which will hopefully help us find more rhinos. Then we go ahead and play one more rhino here. And the Analyzing Artifact here. We get wards out of it, which might help us protect Retrafia, but because they have a lot of hard removal, it might not even matter. That's the Hobian Servant's Blessing from them. They go ahead and pop one, and they do manage to snipe my Retrafia here, which while it is unfortunate, I think actually it's better that they didn't hit the rhino. The rhino would probably been the better hit on their part, in my opinion at least. Go ahead and evolve the Seraphs here. We have traded into this actually because the Serpent's Blessing would pop my last artifact anyway, but I guess it doesn't really make a difference. They're at 10 now. We are at 24 with Dying, so we can just play Dying for Fanfare here, and that's the end of this game. Let's move on to the next game. So we move on to our next game. We are going first again here against Shadow. It seems like Machina Shadow has really been picking up steam as the main Shadow deck right now, so we might expect that. We pick up the Trafia and the Postapocalyptic Girls, so we're just going ahead and keep them because they're good for early game. Pick up the Inner's turn 1, so we're just gonna go ahead and secure the A Guild now so that we don't have to worry about it later. You don't necessarily have to play with Trafia on turn 1 if you don't think you'll need it. In this case, I don't really think I will need it, so I'm fine doing that. And this time we go ahead and play the Retrafia as well as the Post-Apocalyptic Girls to get the Resonance going. Shuffling them back in the deck early on helps you draw another one, which will help you accelerate another one, so that's like a small consideration, I guess. Opponent goes for an early Ania, which is good for us. That means we have one less Ania to worry about. Ania's card power is deceptively high, so getting it out of the way early on is good for us. We're going to use the Post-Apocalyptic Girls as well here just to shuffle them back in the deck. Draw us a new card and shuffle more artifacts in the deck. As you can see, we're already at 6. Even when we're going second here, we could still go for a Gil. Opponent sinks another Ania here, which is very good for us. That means they only have one Ania left that we have to deal with. Then again, as artifact, we're actually pretty good at dealing with Ania anyway, just because our damage is our follower trading is like not really high attack followers, but trading a bunch of low attack followers, so we shouldn't have that much trouble clearing Ania boards anyway. In fact, it gives us a lot of trade targets. So there's the Hoverboard Speedster. We know the other card in their hand that they drew off the what's that called? What's the card called this? Their shared goal is probably Ania, so they have a 0 cost Ania in hand, so we've got to keep that in mind. Someone goes ahead and evolves the Ania here. It's interesting to me. I guess they're not really shy about saving their evil points here. They most likely have the friendship, whatever the hell, that the 1-cost spell that recovers an evil point if you play enough Machina cards. I expect this in their hand if they're sinking an evil point just on Ania here. We'll go ahead and trade off Anya, we play the Aegil here to draw one more artifact. This is an interesting position here. Here I traded the Mystic Artifact here. I wanted to try to keep a white board and make it difficult for them to play Anya, but if you think about it, if you traded Aegil here, this would have been left at 3 defense, which would make it harder to which will be playing around Hellfire Strike, which maybe I should have been playing around. It's a bit hard to save. They do have the Hellfire Strike here, so maybe I probably should have played around that one. There's the friends everywhere as well. They are holding on to that last Anya they have. I guess they didn't have enough Machina count yet. Now they are at 11, so next time we can probably expect the Anya to come down. So since this is a bit of a slow turn from them, we can take it a bit easy as well. So we play a Disseminator of Wisdom here just to refill our hand. We haven't actually found our Rhino yet, so trying to dig through the deck to find the Rhino is probably worth it. So we do pick up the Rhino here, which is good. Go ahead and use the Radiant Machinery to heal out a bit. I don't really want to die to like surprise Lubel, I guess, so we go ahead and pick up the Radiant Machinery. Our hand is pretty full anyway, so we probably shouldn't have that much trouble. They pull out the Goddess of Compassion here, so they are running a more defensive variant, I guess. They go ahead and clear my board. Well, not clear my board, they left my Retrafia alive, which is great because we don't have a replacement. And our Rhinos are now cost 0, so we're definitely just gonna go ahead and play our Rhinos here just to get the Rhinos back in the deck so that we can start playing towards a win condition. So now we can pick the Steel Congregation here because we know that we have enough healing, we're already basically full. Pick up the Avamia here as well, which is great because it gives us damage shield. One of the major finishers that Machina Shadow runs is the what's it called, the Techno Lord, so having a way to deny the Techno Lord is definitely good. We go ahead and round off the turn with a Spinara's artifact here. Honestly, probably should have just played Lazuli here and evolved something, but I guess I wasn't thinking about that at the time. So there's the Techno Lord. They're gonna go ahead and snipe our Retrafia with it. And recover an evil point for themselves as well. Play the Izunia's Restoration to heal even more. And I guess this is where Anya comes down, probably. So yeah, this is the Anya turn from them. Diane's only at 14, so we still need to shuffle a bit more. Actually, it's active with the 2 Rhinos on board, never mind. Yeah, Diane's just active. But unfortunately, they do have a damage shield, so it's definitely not worth playing the Diane right now. I guess my opponent left the Rhinos alive for me to have to deal with. We're gonna go ahead and play the Innes here to pick out Retrafia so that we can trade into their board efficiently. And we go ahead and put the Rhinos back in the deck here. And we go ahead and evolve the Innes here for the Bane. I'm not really sure if this was necessary. Maybe it would have been better to just evolve Carnelia, but I guess I wanted the Bane. We go ahead and use the Spinara's artifact here to try to pick up another Rhino. We do pick up another Rhino here. We go ahead and use the Rhino to go and trade off again. Unfortunately, most of their followers here now, the assembly droids have 1 attack, so we can't trade Rhinos into those. But we can use the Analyzing Artifact to trade with them, so that's fine. We got another Rhino here, so we're just gonna get it out of the way as well. Shuffle more Rhinos into the deck. I guess we keep the Rhino alive here. And then we set up an Avamia to prevent any like surprise lethals here from happening. If this was turn, if they were on 9 PP next turn, you would definitely just play Dine. You might consider playing Dine to pop the Avamia yourself, so that you can deny that Techno Lord lethal. But in this case, we are fine just going this way. And then I ran out of time before I played the second Laser Tyranny. If you're wondering why I didn't kill the Anya here, I just ran out of time. My opponent is gonna go ahead and sink their own Anya here. And then go ahead and get a Lubel here. I guess they're trying to just get some damage in here while they can. Go ahead and trade 2 of their Vivifaunas off. We saw them pick up 1 Anya here. That's the Succession of Balance as well. And then Assembly Droid. We do get rid of our damage shield as well. We leave our Aegil alive here. I guess I'm not really worried that we can kill them. I guess we are pretty far from lethal. This does 10 damage though, so that's a lot of damage. We'll see if we can pick up enough somehow. Seems unlikely. Go ahead and use the Carnila here. We do pick up the Rhino. It's a very high chance to draw Rhinos at this point, so it's not like a high roll or anything. Go ahead and get the Rhino back in the deck here. Set up a Vamia here. We want to play around the Techno Lord, so we set up a ward. And then we go ahead and put down the Rhino here just to get our damage going. You can go ahead and use the Spinara's artifact here, pick out another artifact, try to find another Rhino probably. To finish off this, we do pick out the other Rhino here. Get this Mystic out of the way as well. I guess we're just getting a little bit more value out of the Vamia here. We're going to use Dying to pick up the damage shield to make sure we don't die to the Techno Lord, and then we go ahead and finish off with some more wards to protect ourselves and try to be safe. So here we are pretty safe, very unlikely we die to anything here. So there's the Atom from them. And then Ania as well, that they did pick out off the Vivifauna earlier that we did see. And there's another Ania, which I guess they did pick off another Vivifauna here. So they go ahead and play their Joy Secure, which will heal them up, give them a lot of very sturdy wards. I'm not sure. Oh, they played the Apple on the Ania to use it to clear the Retrafia, but I feel like playing the Apple on the Roly-Poly would maybe better, but I guess it's the same. So they did manage to play around our Dyne exploding their... Oh, we actually don't have Dyne anymore, right? So first we get rid of the damage shield here as well. We have a lot of trade targets, so all we have to do is just draw a bunch of Rhinos and they're dead. Here's another Rhino from us. Go ahead and pick another 2 Rhinos, which is spectacular. We go ahead and play the Rhino again. Go ahead and get rid of it as well. And another Rhino from us. We do pick up one more Rhino, so that's just lethal from us. So yeah, that's the end of this game as well. Rhino, a very strong card. So yeah, that's it for this game. Let's move on to some closing thoughts, I guess. So those are the games I have for you today for our Artifact Portal games. Even though there is really only one edition, which is Postapocalyptic Girls, I feel like the addition of them is actually really valuable for the Accelerate effect, being able to use 1 PP to shuffle artifacts into your deck. Although there are other cards that exist, this one also cycles themselves, which is great, and they also have late game value. So with cards like Dimension Crack or the Jet Pugilist, you can also play those, but the fact that this one draws a card is great for our early game because Aegil needs to fuse cards, so having a way to draw cards is definitely helpful for having not just running out of hand cards because you're playing Aegil, right? And also, as for our other shuffling options that we are still running, like Reboot Button, Laser Tyranny, these are cards that we rather play for the late game value instead of their early game value to try and force Aegil's condition. So having an option to just play for 1 PP is definitely very good for your curve, and the late game effect to give you a damage shield and heal you also will come in. It comes up sometimes, even though it's pretty rare because your deck is usually full of artifacts, so it's very hard to find these, but sometimes you find these and they can help you win games. So yeah, definitely worth running, I think. Might even be worth running 1 more copy of it at 3 copies. So yeah, definitely, if you're an artifact fan, I guess you should definitely test this one out. It's not really I guess it's not a super new deck, so maybe it's a bit of a shame to be doing this so early in the expansion, but I need to give my vials a break. We'll be back with a new deck again in the next video, so there's that to look forward to. But yeah, this is my artifact deck. I won like a decent amount of time, so it's definitely a deck you can use to climb if you want. It's definitely still solid in this meta actually. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and see you next time. Bye bye.